I did everything since you're a kid. Grow up, you go to college, you get an education, you get a job, you move out. I did all of that, and I still can't pay for groceries. It takes one emergency and I am on the street. I am a shift lead at a small, family-owned burger restaurant. It is really hard to get by. The gas prices right now is absolutely ridiculous. That's crazy. There was a little bit less than half a tank full. I put $35 in here. It was maybe 3/4 of the way, a little bit less. We just put $20 in, and it's not full still. I blame Donald Trump for starting an unnecessary war with Iran. We're bombing innocent people. Everybody is being impacted by this. We're suffering. Everything's more expensive. The gas is more expensive. You cut down on everything basically to make do. It's really hot in this car right now, and I can't turn the AC on, otherwise the engine overheats and then the car will break. So I just kind of have to deal, roll the windows down. But the heat works, so that's a plus.
We're going to bring prices way down.
But prices will come down. You just watch. They'll come down, and they'll come down fast.
That man is a liar. He is not keeping his promises. Price of groceries, everything is skyrocketed. Things because of the tariffs. Everything is so much more expensive. So the fridge is empty, basically. This is what it looks like because my EBT money doesn't hit until tomorrow. I don't have any extra money to spend on any extra groceries. This is how I live. If I don't have my EBT card, if I don't have food stamps, this is what my fridge looks like. They're making everything more expensive. They're cutting the benefits that help people be able to afford things.
President's controversial Big Beautiful Bill passing in the House.
The motion is adopted.
The president's tax bill could feature the largest Medicaid and SNAP cuts in history.
About 500,000 Pennsylvanians would lose access to health care. 310,000 of them would lose Medicaid.
My name is Grace, and I was born and raised in Northeastern Pennsylvania.
I'm 31 years old. We didn't think I'd see 30. If I were to lose my Medicaid, I would pretty much lose everything. I was born with a genetic mitochondrial disease. I take over 20 medications daily.
Around 4 o'clock in the afternoon, she takes one thing that keeps her blood pressure up, that keeps her from fainting.
The pills all have to go through this pill grinder. And they have to go through my intestines. I have a lot of malabsorption issues.
So every ER visit used to cost us almost $500 twice a month, sometimes 4 times a month. So when I say we had $14,000 medical debt, that's in addition to the $25,000 we spent that year. We found the Medicare waiver program, so that really saved us.
Medicaid and SNAP are services that the everyday person relies on.
Staying poor is a requirement of being on Medicaid. My name is Jen. I've been a registered nurse here in Northeastern Pennsylvania for the last 30 years. If you get a 25-cent raise this year, you are at risk of losing your Medicaid.
I absolutely worry about losing the benefits because it's happened before during the periods of times living alone where if I didn't have SNAP, I worked too many hours, it got shut off. I straight up didn't eat anything on my days off because there's no room in the budget to go grocery shopping, especially with grocery prices being what they are.
So you look at an administration that is putting my patients in a position where they can't accept a promotion, they can't accept a small bump in salary, and at the same time, they're putting those patients, in an environment where food is more expensive and gas is more expensive and the cost of living for every single part of their lives is more expensive. And you're really placing these patients whose lives are already difficult in a much more difficult situation. The decisions that this administration has made since their inception have all been poorly informed decisions that are not based in fact.
My representative, Rob Bresnahan,
Bresnahan
did vote to support Trump's Big Beautiful Bill.
Congressman Bresnahan is facing scrutiny for some of his actions since taking office. The Republican from Luzerne County voted for President Trump's so-called One Big Beautiful Bill, which cuts about $1 trillion from Medicaid over the next decade.
This is a promise that I will absolutely make. When I go to Washington, D.C., every vote I take will be for what's best for Northeastern Pennsylvania.
Medicaid is really one of the top 5 payers for every single hospital in the United States. When you start cutting Medicaid, hospitals cannot survive.
He was the deciding vote after campaigning that he wouldn't vote in that direction.
Under zero circumstances will I support any legislation that guts benefits for people that deserve them.
And I've said it time and time again, if it's going to gut any benefits for the people in our district that depend on them, I absolutely will not support that.
It was a complete lie.
For a representative who campaigned on the idea that he would not be trading stocks, for him to sell his stocks in Medicaid plans in advance of his vote for the Big Beautiful Bill is such a slap in the face for people here in Northeastern Pennsylvania.
To make a financial move that will risk the lives of constituents.
He's more representative of, the billionaires, the wealthier people that are benefiting off of all of these benefits being cut.
Representative Bresnahan likes to talk about waste, fraud, and abuse as his excuse for voting for the Big Beautiful Bill. Patients do not take advantage of this. It's extremely hard to get. It's extremely hard to maintain.
I think if they had to survive one day in, someone's shoes in like my financial standing or someone else's financial standing, they wouldn't be able to.
Walk a mile in my shoes, look at my life, look at the struggles, look at the needs, and then tell me what part of my life is waste, fraud, or abuse.
Trump and Bresnahan are doing, from my perspective, everything they can to bring the cost of living up. The tariffs, the taxes, the wars.
We are not being served by what President Trump is doing to our country.
Endless war! No war! No Medicaid! No peace! No SNAP! No peace!
The recent actions carried out by the Trump administration are both deplorable and gravely irresponsible.
I don't leave the house. It's too expensive.
Everyone deserves what they need. And Bresnahan pretends that he understands that. He turns around and votes for cuts to Medicaid every chance he gets.
These stories matter. My future is at risk. My community is at risk. We rely on these services and, we need to be heard. Whether he's gonna hear us or not, we're gonna make sure we're heard.